Alright, took a bit of a hiatus, but I'm back. In this video, I'll talk about the one indicator that made me profit. Right? I use a couple of indicators, but I don't use them like every single time. I use them like whenever I feel like. This one I use every single day. No doubt, no questions, nothing. Every single day I use this because it's so fucking good. So we'll talk about what it is, how you can use it to make money, how I use it to make money. We'll talk about why indicators work and a bunch of other things. So let's get started in the video. This is just an example of the indicator right over here. You can see the stock went up, it went down. It tried going above this magical line that we'll talk about, and then eventually just failed. So if you had this indicator on, you could have been like, you know what, I'm not going to take that trade. So it's pretty helpful. So here are my broker statements. I've been over them so many times. You can pause the video if you want. So let's talk about first why indicators work, because this is something I feel like a lot of people like fall into the trap of. Because I mean, I did it. I know a lot of people who did. It's kind of like when you're first like beginning to trade, you are in this endless search of this perfect indicator, right? You might be on this search right now, and I'm gonna be the one to stop you. You might be on the quest of like to find like the perfect indicator, or to find like the perfect like bunch of indicators, like the perfect combination, right? So if I combine this one and this one and this one, then I'll make money. It's like, let me just stop you right there and tell you that's not how it works. You're never gonna find this one indicator that nobody else knows about and it's so secret and all this stuff. Like, it's never gonna happen. It's a complete waste of time. And you understand that when you understand why indicators work in the first place. So let's look at like some of the most common indicators that we've all heard about, right? The first one being EMA, exponential moving average. We probably all use this. We all know about it. Everybody knows about it. That's the reason it works, right? It's because everybody knows about it. So if everybody uses the same EMA settings, if everybody uses the same EMA, well then it's gonna work because everybody sees the same thing on their screen, right? So if you're trading pullbacks, for example, right? Stock goes up, it pulls back, and it goes back up. If you're trading the EMA like everybody else, and the EMA line, let's say, I'm just gonna draw like dotted, is like somewhere over here, well then as soon as you see the stock pulling back to the EMA, you're gonna start buying. And so is everybody else who has the EMA. That's the reason it works. It's because everybody can see it. It's not because it's such a secret indicator with these secret parameters that nobody knows about. That's not what it is. It's the reason indicators work is because everybody can see it. And so because everybody sees the same thing on their screen, they act upon it. And when they act upon it, you get volume. And when you get volume, you get volatility, blah, blah, blah. You get the point. That's the reason it works. So once you understand this, you start realizing that you shouldn't use indicators which have like 3 people using them in the world, right? Or you should never pay for indicators. You should never try and find the perfect combination because that doesn't make any sense. You should use the ones that everybody uses, like the EMA, for example, because that's going to give you the highest probability of success. That's when you start realizing these things, right? It's the same thing with VWAP, right? So let's say VWAP is, again, just going to draw like a dotted line. VWAP is over here and the stock opens over here, right? Stock's trying to go up, 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 up. It hits VWAP. Everybody who's using VWAP sees that the stock is about to hit VWAP. So now some people are going to take profits. Some people are going to start shorting. Some people are going to start buying. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. And then the stock reverses immediately and starts going back down, right? Why did it work? Is it because VWAP is some secret indicator that the big banks use? No, it's just because everybody sees the same indicator on their screens. And so they act upon it. And therefore, something happens on the chart. That's the reason it works. Same thing with MACD, right? So if the MACD is like positive, it's open, right? It's going up, it's green. Well, then people are going to be like, okay, this is bullish. I'm going to continue buying the stock. If the MACD goes negative and now it's red, let's assume like this is like the point where it goes negative. If the MACD goes negative, then people are not going to want to buy the stock anymore. Because they see the MACD is negative. They know that's a bearish thing. They know it's not good anymore. So they're not going to buy the stock, right? And then as soon as the MACD starts going back positive again, that's when they start buying the stock again, right? So indicators are not about like specifically like how they're calculated or any of this stuff. It's more about how common they are or how popular they are. Because if everybody's seeing the same thing on their screen and everybody's trading the same setup, well then you're going to be very profitable, right? But if you have this secret indicator that nobody knows about, you're going to get screwed. You're going to get screwed. Let's imagine, right? You have this magical indicator that says if the stock comes to this magical indicator right over here, it's gonna bounce off, right? So you buy over here and then it's gonna shoot up. That's what's gonna happen, right? So stock goes, it starts going down, 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 down. It hits your magical indicator, you end up buying, and then guess what? A big surprise, the stock just goes down. And then you're like, what? Why did the stock go down? I don't get it. I thought this was a magical indicator. Why did the stock go down? Right? It's because nobody knows it. So you're the only person in the whole world that is seeing this magical line over here. So it's not gonna work. It's literally not gonna work. What you may have missed is that this exact moment where the stock dumped is the exact moment the MACD went negative. So because it went negative, everybody started dumping. Right? But your magical line says, oh, if it touches this price, then it's gonna go up. You see what I mean? So indicators work because everybody uses the same indicators, not because it's a magical, amazing formula. So once you get that in your head, the rest of the video is gonna make a whole lot of sense. So before we go forward, just quick heads up, I have my free trading bundle. It has a free course inside, there's 3 ebooks, there's a Notion template with like a trade tracker, there's a gift inside, and there's so much more. So if you guys do want to check it out, click the first link in the description, check it out, it's completely free, go check it out. So let's move on to the indicator. It's a big reveal. The indicator is VWAP. So I talked about it in the previous slide, and this is the indicator that's literally changed the game for me. Right? I use some other indicators sometimes, like I said, I use MACD sometimes I use the EMA most days, but VWAP is something that I never ever neglect. I use this indicator every single day. Every single time I'm about to make a trade, I always kind of look at where VWAP is. Right? Is it above the price? Is it below the price? Are we getting close to it? Are we getting far away from it? What's happening to VWAP? This is the most important indicator for me. This is the one I use all of the time. And you can see 2 very good examples of this, very good examples. So on the left picture, we can see the stock opened over here. It started going up. It hits VWAP. Immediately it finds resistance, and then it just dumps back down. Right? Same thing on the right. You can see the stock opens at VWAP, immediately dumps, tries going back up, dumps over here, finds resistance again, immediately dumps, goes down, tries going back up, finds resistance again, immediately dumps, tries going up over here, couldn't make it, tries going up, couldn't make it. Again, it tried again and again and again and again, and then eventually just dumps. So VWAP, I'm trying to tell you, is like, it's so underrated. Everybody talks about like all these insane indicators that nobody's ever heard of and all these weird things. But VWAP is like one of those things where everybody knows about it, everybody's heard about it, everybody has it on their chart, but nobody utilizes it. Everyone just forgets about it. So if let's say you saw the stock, right, like over here, and it was green, and you saw it like right over here, on this level over here, would you buy it? Well, if you didn't have VWAP, maybe you would, because it's like, okay, the stock's going up, there's a lot of volume coming in, I'm gonna buy the stock right over here. You might think that. But when you realize that VWAP is right around the corner, you're gonna think twice, because you're gonna be like, well, if I do buy it, it's only gonna go up a little bit, and then it's gonna start finding resistance on VWAP. I probably shouldn't buy it, right? And then you get saved from this massive dump. So again, VWAP is an indicator I use all of the time. So now let's get into how I apply the VWAP into my strategy. The strategy I trade is by finding gappers, finding a good entry point on them, and just trading them. Right? Gappers are super volatile. We all know about this. I'm going to explain how I will apply using VWAP into my strategy. So the 4 steps of my strategy, we talked about this before. First step is to find volatile stocks, aka gappers. We choose one of them, we buy, and then obviously we sell. So let's go through all the steps. So the first step is to scan, right? We have to find the volatile stocks in the first place. So go to a stock screener, go to fucking Zendu on YouTube. There's so many different alternatives. Just find a screener where you can find the gap percentage over here. That's all you need to do. Once you have a list like this, you're good to go. Now, me personally, I like when the gap percentage is above 20%. That's what I like, right? If a stock's gapping up 2%, 20, like it's gapping up 16%, it's not significant enough for people to be excited about it. Right? A stock's only going to be exciting if it's gapping up 200%, 154, 98, 55. It's going to be exciting. If a stock's gapping up 9%, nobody's going to watch it. Right? So for me, a minimum of 20% gap is good enough for me. So the next thing I do is a watch list. So what I do is I go through all of these stocks on the watch list one by one. I look at their pre-market charts. So this is all happening all before market actually opens. I look through all the stocks and I look through their pre-market chart. And so you can see over here on this stock, 8 a.m. or 8:20, 8:15, whatever the time is, breaking news comes out, right? Breaking news comes out and the stock instantly goes up. So it was down over here and it instantly goes up to over here, right? Stock starts going up, it goes down, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We don't really care. The point is it's gapping up on breaking news. There's a reason why the stock is gapping up. It's not gapping up randomly just going up, no news. There's like a reason behind it, right? This is what we like to see. And you can even see, look how it's bouncing off VWAP. It goes up, it goes down, bounces off VWAP, goes up, it goes down, bounces off VWAP. It's finding support on VWAP. This is very good to see. This is going to come in handy later on, right? So we found the stock that we like. Now we just have to find a good entry point and a good exit point. So let's get to that. So step 3 is to buy. So we've noticed that it's found support on VWAP multiple times. So VWAP, it's clearly respecting it. So what do? Well, we wait for the stock to open. It goes down a bit, goes up a bit, eventually it goes down. And you can see how on this candle over here, this one right over here, you can see that it went all the way down below VWAP and the dips got bought back up. The dips got bought back up, bought back up, bought back up. And eventually the candle ended up closing green. This is super bullish for us, super bullish. Because now it tells us that the stock has retested VWAP. This is perfect. It's found support on VWAP. That is exactly when we buy. Right? It's found support on VWAP. There's news behind the stock. It's gapping up. It's volatile. There's a lot of volume. Perfect. Step number 4, obviously, is to sell. So, I mean, there's so many different ways that you could sell. I mean, there's so many different ways. For me, sometimes if I enter the stock below VWAP, so let's say the stock opens up over here and I enter it like right over here, my like take profit or my profit target would be VWAP. So you see how versatile it can be? So in this case, VWAP is the reason that I'm buying, right over here. That's the reason I'm buying. But if I buy the stock when it's below VWAP, then VWAP is going to be the reason that I would sell right over here before it dumps, right? So it's very versatile. You can use it different ways. So in this case, you could sell it when it's at the high of day. You can sell it pre-market high, which might be over here. You can sell it whenever you want, right? But the point is, VWAP is super useful for these types of things. All right, guys, so now I'll show you a real $2,755 trade example. So guys, here I have a stock pulled up. You can see it started gapping up at 7:30 a.m. exactly. Breaking news came out, it started going up. Then you saw that it tried going down, it found support on VWAP, right? So just like the stock in the example, it started finding support. So it went down, found support, went back up. Went down, again, it found support. So this stock now, it's like almost confirmed that it finds support on VWAP, right? So it's perfect. This is like, okay, this is fantastic. The stock then gets close to the market open. Eventually opens, you can see that it dips down for a little bit, goes pretty much to VWAP, and then it starts getting bought back up because it started getting bought back up before on VWAP, so people know it's support. That's when I enter. It starts going up, it starts going down. Eventually I sell for a small gain, but you can see how when it goes back down, it still gets bought back up on VWAP perfectly. Bought back up, perfect. Then I take another trade. You can see that it went below VWAP, went above it again, and this candle is very bullish because what it shows is it opened over here, dipped all the way down to this level, got bought back up above VWAP, which is perfect. So it's finding support on VWAP again. And as it's going back up, it was also the first minute candle to make a new high. That's when I entered. Went up a little bit, sold for a quick 5% scalp. So this is the power of VWAP. You can see that eventually it goes below VWAP, then it goes above, finds some support, goes down, then it finds resistance. So now VWAP is resistance for it. It tries going above again, misses. Tries going above again, misses. So this is how useful VWAP can be. So if you guys want to see the entire trade review where I explain the entire trade in depth, exactly when I entered, exactly when I exited, you can see the trade review in the community, the Draker Room. Let me show you guys what's inside the Draker Room. So these are just some of the wins from the Draker Room. You can see people are making wins all the time. People make a couple $100, couple $1,000. It's a pretty decent strategy that we're trading. So inside the Draker Room, you get my daily watch list, you get trade reviews, you get a full course, you get access to me, and there's so much more in Discord for you to explore. You also get all of the trade reviews that I talked about, all the live reviews, all the month reviews, all the videos are also available when you join the community. So if you guys are interested in the community, email me right now at this email on screen to join. I am going to be increasing the price pretty soon, so if you do want to join, email me at that email right now. If you guys want a video where I explain my 5-minute scalping strategy, where I also show a live trade, click the video that just popped up. Also guys, get the free trading bundle as a reminder, link in the description. And as always guys, subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.